following announcement has been paid for.
Oh, that's right, folks. It's me. It's the THCDOGG, and we are back here. I know what you saw, but I also know that there's still a little weirdness going around here after our last guest. The mysterious Movado, I think, put a very weird kind of alien curse on us or something. So last time it was supposed to be WMW, but it ended up being resin, and so the whole thing is mixed up. So today we're going to call it resin because let's get back on track. Mr. Izzy, how are you, my friend?
I think a little bit of mad was going on around here, meaning dyslexics against mad mothers, and
right.
It's a wonderful day, and I couldn't be any happier today with the guests that we have. I go back with this gentleman probably, I believe it was early 1994, and two guys that met one day, and we actually stole the show. I hope to tell that story while we're here, and it's truly an honor to bring on Mad Man Pondo.
Well, before we bring him on screen, I got a little video for you guys. If you're not familiar with the man, check this out.
We're dangerous, serial killer, stay away from us, or we will kill you, we are murderers, and when we attack, we coming strong, baby, swinging the axe, we're dangerous. Death defy, ain't no lie, little nigga. Crush your Satan city, call me Godzilla. Master of your universe, disperse my words like nanobros. Implode upon contact with your blood, I lust for your soul. Cops arrest me, I'm just too deadly. ROC simply kills a frenzy. Has broke out, it's no doubt that Gordy's at the helm. Blatantly gunning motherfuckers down, I got it on film. People around, body parts line the walls. No pause, destruction we cause from here to China, warn them, dog. You're appalled by the speech and behavior, call upon the spirits involved if they can help you at all. No recalls, ain't no coming back from this. You on the list with sick individuals, gotta rip the fabric of your consciousness. Yes, we came to start some shit. Grab a hold of harnesses, the flight is bound for hell. We're dangerous, serial killer, stay away from us, or we will kill you, we are murderers. And when we attack, we coming strong, baby, swinging the axe. We are dangerous, serial killer, stay away from us, or we will kill you, we are murderers. And when we attack, we coming strong, baby, swinging the axe. We are dangerous. Bone fragments from an animal to stab you with. Our sacrificial lamb is the satanic African shape. My brain's damaged and has to be fixed. I remain savage like plane crashes that manage to tragically hit a building.
All right.
What's up, fellas? What is up? That was a great video.
All right, man. I figured let people get familiar with your body of work if they weren't, but you're a legend, my friend. Hardcore.
Yeah. Terry Ric Flair's a legend. I've just been around too goddamn long.
I don't know if either one of them ever worked with Necro. We had Necro on a couple of months ago, man, and that cat is he's a wacky one.
There's nothing like him. He's an original.
It is true. Super nice guy. We had a great talk with him, and we're thrilled that you're here with us today. Izzy, you've known Pondo for how long?
I'm guessing it was early 94 that him and I had met, and we met and understand that the market at that time, nobody, these older wrestlers, they didn't want to use us. They didn't want to book us, but we happened to get booked on a show together. And he was the first guy that ever wanted to take everything that I had to give in the ring. And I was more than willing to take whatever he had to give in the ring. And magic happened that night to the point that him and I stole the fucking show. And that was so cool. And we could contact a promoter still to this day, and he tells us it was the greatest match he had ever seen. Two guys who probably shouldn't have been there, but we stole the show.
Frank stole the show. I was on Frank's coattails that day.
So it is always in the years that I've been a wrestling fan my whole life. The first card I went to, I was 8 years old. I'm going to be 50 next year. But in my whole life, and all the wrestling matches I've watched and everything, and I guess you would be the best person to ask. what does it feel like when you swing a stop sign at somebody? Like what is that impact?
Well, for the longest time, I was using a trash can lid.
Mm.
And I was at a show one time, and a mom said, hey, my kids want to show you something. And they started beating the shit out of each other with this trash can lid. And here I am knocking grown men out with it. So I had to come up with something about the same shape that was harder to get a hold of. And that's where the stop sign came from. I got a hold of the stop sign. I've been using that for many, many years. So many people have came behind me using a stop sign that does not give me credit for it, which pisses me off. But hey, it's wrestling, you know.
It's business. Yep.
But I was the one that explained to him to use it like a cymbal, like a drum cymbal. Because forever he would hit motherfuckers and it'd just be thunk, and it's but I told him that's like a cymbal on a drum set. That if you let that go, that's going to chime right out. That's going to make a hell of a sound. And yeah, I was the one that suggested that to him.
Nice, very nice. So, what was it about wrestling, Pondo, that got you like when did the bug bite you?
So, my family's very reserved. They don't like being center of attention, and then this came along. So I was always the guy who always wanted to show people, hey, I'm the guy. So with my family being so reserved and quiet, every Sunday we would go to my great grandma and grandpa's for lunch and dinner and all that. And this was every Sunday. And everything was pretty quiet until wrestling came on. And when wrestling came on, there was cocksuckers and motherfuckers. And this is coming out of me and my brother. We was just thrown back and laughing, but also it made us such fans because it was such a good time.
Sure.
That like my mom and dad would be telling them, hey, you got to chill out. And they'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, the kids. And then next thing we know, motherfuckers, cocksuckers, and all this stuff. So, and at that age, not my great grandma, but my grandma, she would like go shopping in Evansville, Indiana. So she was dropping me off at the Coliseum while she went shopping. Or ICW, which is Angelo Paffo's company, was running. They was running Enfield and Harrisburg and Carmi. And then later on in life, there was a guy named Roy West Jr. And if you did good in school, he would take you to wrestling matches. I know that sounds like a pedophile story today, but he never tried anything like that.
Well, his name's not Sam Phillips, so you'd be okay. All
right. There you go. But he would take like wrestling at the Chase in St. Louis. Man, I saw Bruiser Brody live. I can't tell you how many times. So I would go to ICW, USWA, which it was a CWA at that time. Wrestling at the Chase, any little promotion that would ever run around there. And he got so comfortable with my parents, we would go to Chicago, and Chicago had everything. They had AWA, they had WWF, they had WCW, they had Wendy's. I mean, growing up, I was going to all these live events. I went to Super Clash 3, which, had Jerry the King Lawler versus Kerry Von Erich. I went to the Chicago's first Night of the Skywalkers, looking up at this balcony thinking somebody's gonna die. Just all types of stuff. But it all sparked out of my in-laws because we had no idea that they had those words in them until they was watching wrestling.
Always a nice surprise, right?
Yeah.
So during that period, I mean, there's so much wrestling, and this is it's funny that you said that, because one of the things today that I see all the time now, and we've talked about it, Izzy and I have talked about it before, is the ridiculously rising cost of wrestling. WWF tickets are just obscenely priced, and they're taking it away from the common man, the blue collar man, and his family.
Well, they're even doing that. They're even doing that with the TV. It's not just live events anymore. TKO is really pushing the dollar bill on the guy who wants to watch wrestling at home.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy thing is as a kid, for myself, I used to mow lawns to pay for wrestling tickets. I used to shovel snow to buy my wrestling tickets, because my family, they didn't support that. They weren't behind it. So I had to do it myself. So I couldn't imagine now being that kid. How many fucking lawns would you have to pay?
That's $15,000 second tier sheeting. Yeah, that's a lot of lawns. So growing up, who was your go-to? Like,
well, I mentioned it already. Bruiser Brody. Like I loved Bruiser Brody. I always liked the crazy guys. And Abdullah, he would go to wrestling at the Chase. He would do little spot shows around the area. I actually got to see one of the Brody versus Abdullah matches in Centralia, Illinois.
Could I get you to repeat a story of one of your heroes, man? And you've told it before, but I think it's one of the most awesome stories. Do you care to tell the Joe LeDuc story?
So, my grandma and a bunch of my friends, we went to the Evansville Coliseum, and at that point, I was a big fan of Joe LeDuc. Okay. So we walked outside, and it's way different now. You're not even gonna, if you go to the Coliseum now, you won't even know the same area that I'm talking about. Like, they've totally renovated everything. But across the street in a parking lot, Joe LeDuc was over there, and I was gonna meet Joe LeDuc. So I went across the street, and as I was crossing the street, a car went behind me and yelled out, "Joe LeDuc's a faggot." So I even looked at that car like, hey, what are they, crazy? Yeah. So I get over to Joe LeDuc, and I go to shake his hand, and he grabs my hand and squeezes it so hard, like I thought my bones were breaking in there. So my breath went up like this, and then he palmed my face, and he's bouncing me off the concrete, telling me not to cuss around his friends. And I look over, and the hood of his car has probably 8 or 9 beer bottles on top of it, which he probably drank all of them. He forgot to check my ID before he was beating the shit out of me. So he's bouncing me off the ground, and finally he lets me up, telling me not to cuss around his friends anymore. So my friends get in the van, I get in the middle seat, and I'm really pissed, Sure. So before the door shuts, I said, "Hey, watch this." And I look over at Joe LeDuc, and I said, "Hey, Mr. LeDuc." And he turns around, and I go, "Fuck you. Fuck everything that you stand for. You're a piece of shit. Fuck you." And I said, "All right, let's go." We had on.
He came left the lights on in the vehicle, and the battery had died.
He came over there, and he dragged me out of that van and gave me a pretty good beating again. But by that time, my grandma was there. My grandma went over and just kind of grabbed him and said, "Please leave my grandson alone." And so the next day when I got to school, everybody was like, "Hey, man, I heard you went toe-to-toe with Joe LeDuc." And I was like, yes, I did.
That's right.
I mean, he put his foot in my face. I'd say that's toe-to-toe.
Sure, absolutely. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Oh, that's right, folks. The very first ECUSA TV Film Festival. Submissions open on October 15th. Follow us at usatv.com for more information as it becomes available. So, your career began, if I'm reading this, and this is Wikipedia, so I always take that with a grain of salt. But it's saying 1989. Is that about right?
Yeah, that's, yep, 20 years old. I was 20 years old. That Wikipedia thing, number one, says that I have 2 kids that I do not have. I have 3 daughters. I don't know who those children are. Says that I speak fluent Japanese. That's horseshit. So, yeah, you're right about the Wikipedia. But no, that is correct. I started June 24th, 1989 on my birthday.
Oh, outstanding. Outstanding. Yeah. So what who is involved in your training? Like who smartened you up?
The guy's name's Bud Chapman. He's passed away now, but he had a school in Olney, Illinois, and I was there every training session. And the problem was he was so basic that nobody was going forward in that company. You know, I mean, there was no, you was known as what we call today as 40 milers. So I was smart enough to know that this wrestling is what I wanted to do. So I started branching out and just taking every shit sandwich job that I could. And doing that, I worked for Bill Dundee. I worked for Chris Champion. And then I got mixed in with this other dude. I don't even want to mention his name. That way you don't get no credit.
Yeah, we don't give any credit to anything really of negativity. I'll say that we're both adults and we understood what exposure was. And just like any performer, stage time is the most important thing. And that's what we were getting. And luckily enough, as he said, he came from a small town, and to achieve the things that he had, he created his own pathway, man. What turned you on to that style? Do you prefer hardcore, or would you call it deathmatch?
Well, both, actually. So people ask me all the time, Pondo, can you even wrestle? Well, Frank knows. Yes, I can. But
you and I have had at least 20 matches with each other, and never, and it was always a pleasure, man. Easy peasy, man.
Right. But you just don't get paid the same money to wrestle like you do these death matches. So and not only that, I have worked so hard on putting respect on death matches, keeping death matches alive. So yeah, death matches is, I've done death matches in 6 different countries other than America. So yeah, death matches is my favorite.
Well, this next clip, that's a hell of a
suplex. There's no way that he's gonna suplex him off this thing. No way he's gonna do a superplex. No way in hell. Impossible. Ring the bell. Pondo going for a superplex. Oh! Holy fuck! Holy fuck! That's gotta be it. That's gotta be it.
Wow. So you know, I get so much hate over that.
Can I say something about that? Because
sure.
I know the parties involved.
Mm-hmm.
Pondo took care of JC. JC Bailey said that was one of the easiest bumps he ever took in his life. And the reason being is because of that man right there. God bless J.C. Bailey. I miss him so fucking much. He was such an awesome kid. But Pondo took care of that kid, and he looked out for him.
The thing about that bump is, people, it was all one piece.
Right.
One piece going this way, one piece going this way. There was no way we was going through that shit. You know, I mean, that was the gimmick of it. But what I was saying, people hate on me so much for that spot, and I don't mind them hating on me, but they hate on me and JC. JC's not here to defend himself, so out of all the bumps that gets complained about, that's the one that pisses me off the most, and it's the one that's mostly shown out there. But yeah, man.
As I said, JC himself, it came out of his mouth that was one of the easiest bumps he ever took in his life, and it was because of you, man. You looked out for him, really and truly.
I do my best. I do my best with everybody, trying to, you know, I'll show up at a show, and whoever I'm getting ready to wrestle are just like afraid and not knowing what's coming, thinking that I can pull a barbed wire out of my asshole and cut them with it or something. But
that'd be a trick. That would definitely be.
Here's the other funny thing, though, is once they get to know him, anybody that's got blood will walk over to him like a badge of honor, looking for that seal of approval from Mad Man Pondo. What?
Nice.
Yeah, but again.
They're so afraid to wrestle me, but after they get done, they're like, "Oh my God, that was easy." And I was like, "Yeah, that's what this is. It's a work. It's supposed to be that way, you know." And nowadays, well, a lot of them watch me and Necro on video, and you know, some of them have wrestled Necro, and they're expecting a Necro match. Well, right. Necro's out to make people stars by letting them stand up after they've taken a beating from Necro. Right. And I'm the opposite. I want people to want to bring me back. So I always do the work part, you know?
Well, we could compare Dylan or Necro's style to Gypsy Joe. And by example, what I mean is if he lets you hit him with everything you got, you can't say anything back if he does the same. That's just, you know. But as I said, I've worked with both of you, man, and it's always been, I've walked out, it's been a pleasure, man, and I've had so much fun over the years. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to reach out to you to begin with here, because, man, over the years, you and I, the blast that we've had together working with each other. And if they don't look at you as I'm here to say, man, I have had such awesome matches with Mad Man Pondo. And if it wasn't for Mad Man Pondo willing to take everything that I had to give, not too many people would have been able to see me on that level. But truly, because of Pondo.
How much did you weigh in 94, do you think?
I probably weighed 130 at the most.
and everything that you called, you kept saying, just get out of the way. Blah, 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 I'll do this. And then you just move. And I'm like, why do you want me to move from this stuff? And you're like, well, I've never hit anybody with it. I'm like, today's the day.
Yeah. And for you, he says to me, hey, man, can I just hit you with this trash can lid? Because everybody's so afraid to take this. They were even afraid for my wife to hit them with it, man. I was like, fuck yeah, man, go right ahead. Man, that's the way it was.
She was a fucking badass with that trash can lid.
So this next clip that we've got here, and I got to see if I can find the whole I'm sure it's out there. This is you and Necro again with our good friend New Jack.
Oh, the Butcher just met his #1 fan, John. What? I didn't think he was here, John. I didn't think he was here, and he looks pissed off. New Jack is here! And Will's Johnson! a sick man.
I got a couple stories about that clip. The first one is RF like asked New Jack. I think he was trying to goof us out actually, but he was asking New Jack what he thought of Mad Man Pondo, and New Jack said I'm one of his favorite white boys, and then he said, what about Necro? And he's like, that's white boy number 2 in my book. But it cut off. I mean, it didn't show it, but that fan that I hit him with, I hit him full feds straight in the face with that, because allegedly, maybe or maybe not, Necro might have been on liquid morphine that day. Was punching me like he owned me. I mean, just punching my face left and right. So to slow him down, I grabbed that fan. I don't think it was part of the match. I think it belonged to the building, but I grabbed that fan and Babe Ruthed it into his face. So when I'm picking him up, he goes, I'm hitting you too hard, ain't I, buddy? I said, yes. Would you stop?
Now I'll give you a Necro story that goes with that, but I've also got a wonderful comment that if I don't say it now, I might forget. But Madman Pondo was Tracy Smothers' favorite wrestler. No bullshit, man. Tracy, from the moment he's seen him, I was on the road with Tracy, and truly, Madman Pondo was Tracy Smothers.
The best compliment that Tracy ever gave me was Concrete is afraid of Madman Pondo.
Very nice. Very nice.
In the dressing room, you'd hear, he's dead. He's dead. Oh, God, he's dead. And that was Tracy watching Pondo, man.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk about the current state of deathmatch wrestling. So check this out. We'll be right back.
Clock Towers 2025. The clock is ticking. If I could see behind your eyes, inside your mind, what would I find? If I could feel inside your heart, would it be love or would it tear me apart? If you could read inside my mind, you would understand that I'm not so blind.
Ah, yes, indeed. That is good friend of the show, Tarek the Great, and his new album coming out, Clock Towers. Good stuff from what I've seen. Him and I have talked a little bit about it, and we had him on the show, and great stuff coming up there. So I would imagine, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that there is a significant difference the next morning between wrestling a standard match and wrestling a death match.
Big time.
Okay. So I've seen, all kinds of crazy stuff, and even the stuff that Necro and Mickey Rooney did in The Wrestler with the staple gun and everything like that.
I said Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke, yeah. Mickey. Did I say Mickey Rooney?
Could you
That'd have been
imagine? That'd been
That'd have been
great.
an interesting movie.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly. What have been some of the longer lasting, like everyday, like how's your health in general?
Man, I'm so for the longest time I was 332 pounds, still doing this shit, still landing in stuff, still every weekend getting on the road, going to towns, bleeding for the entertainment of others everywhere I went. But at 332 pounds, I don't know. I was still breathing okay. My knees are not bad. My like my body's fine.
Right.
But recently, October 17th of 2023, I got the gastric sleeve.
Oh, okay.
So I'm 100 pounds down. I'm moving so much faster. I'm coming off the top rope again.
Nice.
Everything's going great except no chick action. I mean, I'm that didn't help nothing, but everything else, my health is good, and I'm still continuing to mutilate my body for the entertainment of others.
And
Now,
go ahead.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Then I got
How many tours of Japan now?
49. Next one will be number 50.
I can remember when it was just a dream, man, and to be able. And I told you this on your first tour that I'm living vicariously through you, man. I was so proud of you, and to see again. A lot of times we bring people on here to try to show everybody that it is possible. That if you take those risks, you can have dreams, you can have goals. And Pondo, what was the name of the town? Was it Flora that you came from, or Carmi?
Flora, Illinois. My grandma and grandpa lived in Carmi, but Flora, Illinois is where I'm from.
Yeah, so a town in the middle of nowhere. And here's a guy who's done 49 tours of Japan. How many other countries?
England, England, Mexico, Germany, and Australia, Canada, and America, all over. I mean, not just America, but from one end to the other of the America. So yeah, I mean, I
dare you to call this man stupid. I dare you, because this man's lived it. You can't take that away from him. That's the important. That if anybody understands anything from this, he's lived it. He's done it. So you can have goals and you can have dreams, because here he is living it.
Oh, absolutely. And so in the current now, hold on, let me back up a little bit. For me, and I would imagine for a lot of people, it was the same for a lot of American fans. Terry Funk and Mick Foley was at 94, the King of the Death Match tournaments. I think was the first one that probably opened a lot of eyes to that particular style, because ECW was toying around but hadn't really quite made that move yet. And well, I'm sure there were some other promotions, smaller promotions in America. Obviously, in Japan, it was huge. As a professional and as someone who has done these things, what are your thoughts on that Foley Funk match?
Okay, so death matches. Okay, let me back up myself.
Okay.
I know Frank knows what it is, but do you know what tape trading is?
Yes.
Okay. That was where death matches started getting big in America. Okay. They started in Puerto Rico with a guy named Victor Quiones. Yes. Then Victor Quiones took that to Japan. Now, the Japanese videotapes got more popular than the Puerto Rico ones, but the Puerto Rico ones is where it started.
Okay.
But before all this King of the Death matches, before Terry Funk and Cactus Jack, I'm not taking that away from him, man. That was awesome stuff. But there was two other guys. There was Mr. Danger Masanaga and Mr. Pogo. And those guys, dude, before I was already amazed before the King of the Death matches on videotape, because I got a compilation tape of Masanaga and Mr. Pogo just going at each other week after week after week, catching each other's heads on fire. The first barbed wire bat, exploding barbed wire, which Onita also, FMW Onita was also in the same, doing the same things, but there was an FMW and a wing.
Right.
If you look at those King of the Death match videotapes of '94 in Japan, they are in a baseball stadium.
Mhm.
All the chairs are filled. All the stadium chairs are filled. So that was like just a really hot item
Sure.
in Japan. So that's now people think that they started in Japan. They didn't. They started in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
But I watched that videotape, and hey, rest in peace, Mr. Pogo. But I am so proud that I'm on first name basis with both of those guys. But if it was not for that videotape of Masanaga versus Mr. Pogo, I might not be Mr. Mad Man Pondo, world traveler like I am today. But studying and being so impressed with what those guys was doing is what I imitated. And I'm not famous, but I'm known because of those two.
Absolutely.
Now, how crazy is it that the closest thing in the American market at that time would have been the sheep herders?
True that. Like, people say the sheep herders, but later on came the moon dogs.
Yep.
Of course, there was always, I mean, I don't think I saw an Abdullah match without blood in it. And I went to a lot of Abdullah matches before I got to know the man.
Right.
Bruiser Brody, sometimes he wouldn't bleed, but he always made his opponent bleed. So there was hardcore. Like during the tape trading days, there was no word called death match. It was just put in a bloody tape, you know.
Right.
But as time went on, death matches. So you asked me about the evolution of death matches. In the beginning, when I started doing them, okay, so there was two guys doing them at ECW. Rest in peace, Axel Rotten.
Yep.
There was two guys who did them in ECW. One of those guys got fired, and I got hooked up with him. But
it was a means to the end, is what it was.
But I started doing going on the road with that guy. So in America, I was number 3 to start doing death matches. I never brag on myself, but I will argue that fact to anybody. And I'm not talking about the bleeding hardcore matches. I'm talking about light tubes, barbed wire, electrified light tubes. The very first light tube log cabin, that was my idea. We was at a Kmart building, and of course Kmart had all these fluorescent light tubes, and they didn't know what to do with them, and they had them all stacked up on the side of the building. That was my idea.
You built a house out of them.
That was my idea to say, oh, wouldn't that be cool to make a log cabin out of those? Next thing I know, there was a log cabin, and I took the first bump through one of those.
Oh man.
Let me, because I have talked about this. People has come to me and said, so aren't you pissed that AEW are doing death matches now? No, I am not. Because it was so hard over the years getting people to accept death matches or even want to see death matches. But now, thanks to AEW, thanks to GCW, thanks to ICW, thanks to Horror Slam, thanks to Japan, thanks to all these companies that are now doing death matches, but mostly because of AEW, death matches are now becoming a household name.
Sure.
There was the final exploding barbed wire with the poof was was a killer, was a match killer, but that pay-per-view was wrapped around a death match. And Chris Jericho himself told me that was AEW's biggest buy rate for a pay-per-view. And of course, like, it went to shit, but then Britt Baker did one. I wrote her and I was like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. That was awesome. And then now Moxley, and now death matches are now unarguably part of wrestling. But
Now,
you can ask Frank. In the beginning, when I was doing them, oh my God, I got so much hate for doing them.
Here's the other thing, though, and let me emphasize this. How many of those guys did we work with twice a week sometime, be it CM Punk, be it Colt Cabana, be it any of these guys that are there now, the John Moxleys? These are the guys that cut their teeth with us and watched you on a weekly basis. So they understood. And I think you do not get that credit as well, because the guys who are in control watched you, and they watched you do it every week. And that's, again, I give you your credit due, because if the guys who are in control won't do it, I will, because I was there.
Man, I'm never one to pat myself on the back. I hear too many other wrestlers do that, and I always want to be different. So
that's what I'm here for, man.
I don't take compliments well, and I do my best not to brag on myself on stuff, but some things that I have done in life that other wrestlers can only dream of doing. Oh my God. Do you know how many wrestlers wish they've been to Japan 49 times?
Oh, sure.
Do you know how many wrestlers wish that they had sex with Bridget the Midget? This guy did. Can you imagine how many wrestlers wish they was in a movie with Robert Englund? This guy did it. Can you imagine how many wrestlers wish they was not in 1, 2, 3 video games? This guy did it. I mean, no, I have not had any TV notoriety, but I'm known. Like, I've done some stuff over the years.
And in that process, though, again, how many people said how foolish you are for doing this, and how crazy you are for doing this, but in the same regards tell you how lucky you are for this, and how just completely discounting the work that it took to do it. And that's, again, man, everybody will say you're crazy until they're asking you for a ticket.
And or a job. I get that a lot. Right around the gathering, and
me too. They still call me and ask, and I'm like, I have nothing to do with it.
Right around the gathering, and right around when I became the booker at Big Japan there for a while. Man, did I get a lot of friend requests.
Of course.
Sure. Absolutely. We're going to jump.
Brother.
We're going to jump into one quick commercial break. We'll be back, and we're going to talk about the other passion that you and I share outside of wrestling. So check this out. We'll be right back.
Come on. The circus bazaar. If you're into paranormal stunts and supernatural sideshow movies, then step this way and witness another world circus.
You take a mortal man and put him in control. Watch him become a god.
It's your boy Smokey Seed, and you're tuned in to the WMW Podcast. Whoop, whoop.
All right, and we are back. Now, before we get into the next topic, I almost forgot. We are going to have to play a quick round of Straight Fire, so hold on tight.
What if really spelled dog.
All right, Pondo, this is straight fire. 5 random questions, no wrong answers. Just don't take too long to think about it, and it's all good. In the history of professional wrestling, your time as a fan, who or what was your favorite gimmick?
Favorite gimmick?
Yeah.
It would have to be the barbed wire ropes, but not the taking the ropes down and putting the barbed wire up. CWA, USWA, whatever you want to call it, they was wrapping the ropes with barbed wire, and I thought that was crazy.
It makes a lot more sense, though.
Yeah.
Favorite pay-per-view of all time? Like one show that you can just go back and sit and watch anytime.
I really don't watch too many pay-per-views. I don't watch wrestling, but it would have to be probably the King of the Death matches, because that's the one that I watch the most.
Sure. Who's been your favorite opponent?
It's got to be Necro, man. Me and him's got the best chemistry together.
It's an easy night, and that's always what you want, especially given what you guys do. What if you could pick one wrestling match to represent wrestling, what's that match for you?
I would say Necro versus Samoa Joe, because I was in that arena, and that was probably the best match I ever saw in my life.
Nice. All right, and last question. Any opponent, any match, who would it be, and what would your match be?
Of course, it'd be Bruiser Brody. It'd have to be Bruiser Brody.
All right.
I would let that man kick my head off just so I could wrestle.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that. So you and I share a common passion aside from wrestling, which is kind of how part of this conversation got started. I understand that you are a horror fan yourself, have been for a long time. I know you've done some acting in some horror films as well. Tell me how your experience has been working in that industry.
Well, I've only done the one horror movie, 2001 Maniacs, but for a first horror movie, sure. I think that was a great experience.
That was a good one.
I got to sit at the same table with Robert Englund for 2.5 weeks.
Nice.
Eating dinner, listening to his stories. I am on the DVD cover. I'm right next to Robert Englund's left ear. That's every horror movie fanatic's dream.
Nice.
I mean, I just have so many stories about 2001 Maniacs. That would be a whole different show.
Well, one of the things that we're going to do, you and I have talked about, and Izzy was involved in these conversations as well, is I am now programming the evening blocks for the Akuza TV streaming channel. And one of the things that I wanted to do was a Joe Bob Briggs kind of, drive-in, Rhonda Shear up all night, that kind of horror host type of thing.
Elvira, Gilbert Godfrey. What was the Captain USA, right? Captain USA.
Yep.
Seven Julie.
Robin Shear's actually coming back. Up All Night's coming back a couple of weeks.
For October.
Yeah. Right on. Good for you. So what we're going to do, you and I, is we're going to go through some movies. We've got our first one already picked out, and we're going to get that feel, get you, telling us what you love about the horror, about horror and what about the movies and all of that kind of good stuff. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be able to talk about your love of horror growing up and all of that stuff. And it's going to be a good time. So I'm looking forward to that. And I know that you've been in similar roles before, with doing shows like that. So I'm ready to go, brother. As soon as you're free, we can knock it out.
I'm a bigger horror movie fan than I'm a wrestling fan, just so you know.
Right on.
People come to my house thinking they're going to see all this wrestling memorabilia, and they're just like horror movie shit out everywhere.
Nice.
So I'll tell you a funny story about just a little bit of a horror movie thing. anybody that knows me knows that's really not my thing. So after a show, it was in Missouri. We go back to this promoter's house, and he tells me that there's a martial arts movie that I've got to see, that I got to check out. And it's the story of Ricky Doe, I think was the name of it.
Ricky O.
And this guy cuts his own intestines out, and I'm looking at Pondo like, what the? And so this is the obscurity or whatnot. And as I said, when I recommended him, I knew that this was the guy for the job.
Sure, absolutely.
The story of Ricky O is a fucking classic. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, little, a little bit on the extreme side.
You know what? Since you've said this, you guys get people writing messages and stuff to you, correct?
We do.
So if anybody out there has an uncopyrighted today's kind of horror movie that they would like to get shown on our show, please contact this guy. Tell him, hey, this is what I got, because that's what we're running into. We are having trouble with copyright stuff. We can do every black and white movie before 1970, but was that really going to interest people, or will people want to tune into that? But if you have a horror movie that you just have sitting on your shelf that you've made yourself, and be realistic about it. Don't be like, I don't know. Don't be like two guys jacking off in a room, killing each other. I mean, we want legit movies, but
don't send us any snuff movies or anything like that, please. So I understand that there is a tournament coming up that you're involved in
England.
In England. Tell us a little bit about that event.
So it's going to be 16 guys. I'm going to be there from the 22nd to the 27th.
All right.
But the final show will be this tournament. And man, I'm excited about it.
Looks like you've got a good group going over there. It looks like it's a strong card. So before we get out of here, so you've got that show coming up, and you and I will be talking soon, and we'll be getting that whole project rolling, and we'll get that up on the air and start building the crowd for that. Izzy, any last words? Anything?
I'll tell you this. I've known him as long as I have. Truly, I've met his grandparents. I've been to his grandparents' house. And this is a quality human being. And this is why we wanted him on the podcast. And anybody that has anything, this is somebody who's lived it. This is somebody who's done it. And you can't ever take that away from this man. And this is my way of truly saying thank you to you, because without you willing to take what I had to give and giving me the platform that you did, I wouldn't have been able to do the things that I did. So this is my way of truly repaying you, my friend. Thank you.
I think you would have figured it out somehow. I got it in my mind you would have figured it out. Before we hang up or cut this off, I can't remember what the other website is, but eatsleepwrestle.com is a guy named John Cosper. Me and him got together and we wrote a book about me. All these stories that you want to hear about me, and some of them that you might not want to hear about me, are all in 248 pages of this book. And now I've written book number 2. We was going to put it out in September, but of course we're a little late on that, so it'll probably be somewhere in October. But that's eatsleepwrestle.com. Ask John Cosper for an autographed copy. He won't give you nothing cheaper, but it'll make me look better,
Absolutely. All right. Well, Pondo, we will. You and I will be talking very soon, sir, and we'll be getting that off the ground. Izzy, I will talk to you later on. And folks, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to join us on Wednesday. Yeah. See, now I'm all confused. Join us on Wednesday for Resin, because by then the mystic energy of Movado should be gone. Folks, I am the THC DOWG. With me as always, Mr. Izzy High. Pondo, again, thank you for your time, my friend, and we'll talk real soon, folks. We're going to go out on this last ad, a little movie written by somebody who looks a lot like me. We'll see you next time.
How can ordinary choices bring you face to face with death?
It was really safe.
Felicia, it's okay. Felicia, it's okay.
Hello, Mother.
I think it's so amazing that you can reach people's deceased loved ones.
Well, some people have unfinished business, and that's why they stay.
Hi. I rented out the suite online.
Pull yourself together.
Bestie.
Will you dare to open the door?
You're always going to be welcome here.